Good evening, folks, morning, folks, afternoon, whatever it is. It's 1:18 a.m. here in Liverpool, England on the 17th day, second month, 2022, and I'm going to try this again. Right now, I'm having a good look here at this storm. We have two of them going on. One's coming up and over, and the other one's coming up behind it from the south. The one from the south's bringing a bunch of warm air. The one up here is kicking down a bunch of cold air. The recipe for a blizzard, really. And in some areas of the United Kingdom, I imagine there'll be some blizzard conditions lasting 5-6 hours. So let's start again with what I did a moment ago. They say here that this storm has winds of 100 miles an hour. Mapped. Stay alert. 100 miles an hour. Are you hearing any hurricane warnings? Well, let me show you something. On the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, any storm with winds over 100 miles an hour is considered a Category 2 hurricane. It doesn't have to be over in North America compounded against the Carolina coast and Cape Hatteras. This could be pounding against Galway, it could be pounding against Limerick, and they're going to get hammered. I mentioned those specifically because they're the greatest damage for the storm surge. And storm surge needs to be considered when you think of storms that have low pressures as low as these are, 960, 971 millibar, in that range there, that depending on what site you look like. And ones that low nearly should be devoid of clouds in their imagery, right? So I wanted to show you that straight off. So you're being lied to. They're not warning you properly. You know, there's not a proper warning when they say 100 miles an hour wind, and we know that's a hurricane, and they're not telling you, okay? So I'm going to start there. Right, that's the first thing. Right, I'm going to jump around. You need to know these tide times. And if you live in like Limerick, I'm very worried about Limerick Harbor and some of that there. So I was looking at what time is some of this stuff going to come ashore according to the weather plan. So we need to know these things. And I know Liverpool's as well. I have to look because I see a flooding potential. And they're like 9 in the morning. 9:02 at night on one day, and the other day is very important too. It's about the same. And we have a full moon tonight. It looks full, which makes it a king tide over the next few days. And the king tides pull more anyhow. We got a terrible storm surge potential and flooding for Bootle. I dare say all the way up through MS Bank Arena is very, very possible. Even the tunnel crossing under the Mersey is possible. So first thing I see in the center of this circulation is nothing circular. Except for this one chem bomb deployment where something came around and boom. If you drew a line toward the center of this, you'd say that, gee, that has an epicenter. And the epicenter is called geoengineering. Lots of plumes of stuff, lots of different directions of winds that should be turning in a low pressure way in this hemisphere. I don't see it. Do you see it? No. I see square form storm, I see geoengineering, and I see us about to cop it. About to cop it over the next 48 hours. Right. As this storm comes in, I got to point this out. Right. You got the Shannon. You got Limerick. See if we can get it to come in. I zoomed wrong. Here it is. Right. The water's kicking in this direction. The wind is blowing in this direction. All this water has to go somewhere. And when it's up in this direction, things like up in this inlet here have the greatest potential for storm surge flooding. If there's boat docks where people's fun toys are there, they'll get hemmed up and blown all over the place for dramatic pictures to sell the climate change. So we got two of them. All the way up through into here into Limerick, the flooding is nearly guaranteed. So I'm going to issue you a warning of flooding over the next 48 hours. It's not a good thing going on. And I say this part of the Galway area here in this bay is great potential because of how this would deflect water, slow it down a little bit, and then have a tendency to hem it up again through this side. Some of it could back up through here as well. If a big enough storm surge comes in, and they're talking about surf of about 12 feet, and you add the king tide to it and the storm surge, You can have a 20-foot, 18-foot wall of water come up here potentially during the highest wind and wave conditions. So if the seawalls here are out of shape, you're about to get sold a new seawall. And they've been trying to sell one here to Liverpool. So if they flood out the city center, that ought to get them a barrier, because they were trying to sell it. And it doesn't surprise me if this doesn't happen. And well, if it floods out MS Bank Arena after the fiasco of my pay, maybe the guy that I will not feel sad, actually. But I will feel sad about this in some parts. But I want to show you why I say this. This is a look at some of the pressures I was looking at. Don't look like a hurricane to you? That's Friday at 2 a.m. time. We've got wind gusts over on this scale here. You know, nearly off the charts in this color blue. And then it drops down and then there's more. This is the feeder. The worst is yet to come. Absolutely horrendous. And two of them back to back. And this one go over the top, up here, right? That looks complicated, don't it? This one come up and over. 2 storms in 2 days. Come this day here, we get it. It comes over into Liverpool, and the potential for snow and such is very high through here. And when I look at the wave heights, I do look at these things. It does cut off right down here. So that's why I say the potential for the flooding's there, because this juts out a bit and it's a little bit lower. And this is lower too. We're going to cop it. Liverpool, get your wellies out. And maybe blow up raft and have some fun in it, because they just climate changed you. And it's man-made. Isn't it funny how they have a big meeting over down here and decide, yeah, I don't like this building, let's destroy it. So MS Bank people didn't pay me. The geoengineers have zoomed in on you. And that's going to hit right at high tide, according to the weather plan. Like when I looked down here and I saw those warnings, it was Friday at 6 a.m. And then on up the river again. This is not little bits of wind, not little bits at all. Add the storm surge to all this. Very predictable. They're not being accurate. Even down up and through here, some of that's going to hem in. But if there's an easier outlet here, the water will take that route. It'll take this route here. And it's going to take this route right up and over where this juts out. And well, then they'll get that that barrier like the Thames has, because it's all about the sales these days. It's all about the sales, and we've been sold out. Now I'm going to show you some of the chem. Now we're going to go back a day. Now I'm going to get rid of these tide times. There's nothing showing on that. And I'll try to get a better website for showing beams as it's coming ashore tomorrow. And I'm going to show their gelt. Right, look at the beam. Look at this crap here. West in Newcastle upon Tyne. Cambomb, squared out area, giving energy. Yeah, they're definitely walking it up and over. There's no doubt in my mind. Let me see if we can read the exact path in. Because the energy's been put in for it to come right here. Right through here and up and over. That's where it's fed to go. If it's spinning like this, it'll ride right over Newcastle, it'll ride right over Liverpool, Preston, all that. Yeah, we're getting it. A little bit northern. Yeah, we're fed to have it. Look at that plume there. Cambomb, Bradford, Preston, Cambomb. See what Ireland's getting. They're getting no sunshine. Because the sunshine's gone and people going out of their minds thinking they're going to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, you're heavy chem. Heavy nanometallics up there reacting in the electrosoup. Or plasma soup, as some people like to call it. And what I call it wrong. It needs to stop. And again, they're bunches of crap. You guys have got done. They decided It wasn't bad enough to have a bad year. Well, you're going to have a year to remember, right? And not for the right reasons. And you're getting a hurricane. And you can expect it to come up and over and then straightly impact this area of Norway and the wind Denmark. And the winds are still going to be extremely high. And yes, it is set up to go that way. So that's the best I can do for you with the data that I have for tonight. I hope I could do better for you in the long run tomorrow. All I know is bring your pets in, get a good deck of cards out, get you some candles, expect power outages, limbs to fall, watch out for falling power lines and flooding. Get your important documents in order. And be you, be free, be oneness. Big love, peace. Stay safe.